Hello there, how are you? Welcome back to Revelation Dreams. A little fun fact for you. Did you know there are 59 Bible verses about horses? Today's message is going to be about the white horse. Specifically, there are two different riders who arrive on a white horse, and the first reference of a white horse is in Revelation 6:2. And it says, "And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." Now, the second reference of the white horse is in Revelation 19:11 and 12. "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat on him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness doth he judge and make war. His eyes were a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but himself." Through the years growing up, white tended to symbolize like the good guy or righteousness. I mean, think about it. The Lone Ranger rode in a white suit, and he had the white horse. So when you see that white horse or that white hat, you almost immediately go to, oh, hey, that's a good guy, or that guy is about peace and justice or righteousness. Well, in this case, you need to know that the Antichrist is going to use that symbolism that we've kind of been programmed to receive to fool us. So here's just a real quick breakdown of the symbolism. So in the Bible, horses usually represent something to do with war, and seldom will you find a horse in Scripture that doesn't belong in a battle. In fact, this is likely why Jesus confused people when he made his triumph entry on a donkey instead of a war horse. I think he wanted to make it clear during his first time on earth that he would not be a warlord or a conqueror of the Romans. And Matthew 21 talks about that. Now, the white symbolism tends to represent something righteous or pure in the Bible. As a matter of fact, the horseman of the apocalypse rides. It may show that he's operating under the pseudo-righteousness to deceive more people. Now, when we go on to the symbolism of the crowns, as you may be guessing, they represent authority or victory. So the horseman of the apocalypse wears one crown, showing he will conquer for a time, whereas Jesus wears many crowns and is the ultimate victor and the authority over all of us. And then the last symbol we'll talk about is the bow. Bows tend to represent strength in battle, and the fact that the horseman doesn't have arrows shows he uses some deceitful tactics of peace to kind of sway his followers for a time. Now we can contrast this with Jesus. Out of Jesus' mouth comes a sword, in reference in the Bible of the double-edged sword. And then Jesus speaks truth and does not deceive like the first horseman. I think the reason that this dream came to me to talk about the white horse and to get my nose into the book and figure out the difference between the white horse is because that is going to be one major tool that Satan uses to fool Christians to follow him. Now you need to watch out. That first white horse, he's a political power out there somewhere. And yes, Jesus does appoint political leaders and allow for certain people to have power for a time. But the key is we should not put our hope and trust in those political leaders alone. First, we should put it in Jesus, and then what will be, will be. The second thing is to know that there are two white horses, and they are very similar So it might be worth your while to go take a read and just kind of get it, put into your memory banks of single crown, bow without arrows versus multiple crowns with the whole army on white horses behind him with a double-edged sword. That's how you're going to know the difference between Satan and Jesus. And I think finally, if you stay in Scripture, if you listen to the message of faithful and true, and I think staying in the Scripture is key. Just take an hour out of your day or a half hour out of your day and do some reading. The Old Testament is our history, and if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. The New Testament is what is coming up. So, kind of just be aware. Revelation talks about the two riders on white horses, and we only want to follow one. And ultimately, one will try to deceive the world, and the other is faithful and true. Alrighty then, have an absolutely wonderful and blessed week. I'll see you next time on Revelation Dream. Take care.